Have you ever stopped to think about who's really worth your kindness as you get older? When you're young, you're taught to be generous with everyone, smile, help, forgive, repeat. But as the years pile up, you start to see that your heart, your time, and your calm aren't endless, and not everyone deserves a share. Kindness is beautiful, but it can turn into a weight when it's given to the wrong people. In this video, we're diving into 5 types of people you should stop pouring your kindness into as you age. These aren't random faces in a crowd. They're often the ones closest to you, friends, relatives, even folks you've known forever. If you don't set boundaries, their habits can sap your strength before you even realize it's happening. By the end, you'll spot them clearly, understand why they drain you, and feel ready to guard your peace without a shred of guilt, because your later years are for living fully, not fixing others. Let's jump in. Number 1. The endless complainer. You know someone who always has a storm cloud over their head, don't you? No matter the day, they've got a problem. A neighbor's too loud, the weather's too cold, their coffee's too weak. Meet Clara, 74, who used to spend hours on the phone with her sister, Diane. Clara would listen patiently as Diane vented about everything, from her aches to her ungrateful kids. At first, Clara thought she was being supportive, but soon she noticed something. Diane never asked about Clara's life, never shared a laugh, never paused to hear Clara's own struggles. After those calls, Clara felt heavy, like she'd absorbed all of Diane's gloom. The endless complainer doesn't just share their woes. They dump them on you, expecting you to carry the load. They lean on your kindness, your ear, your time, but they rarely lift you back up. As you age, you can't afford to let someone's negativity become your normal. Your energy is precious, and spending it on people who only see the world in shades of gray pulls you down with them. It's okay to care, but it's also okay to say, "I can't talk today," or to let the call go to voicemail. You're not their therapist, and your kindness shouldn't mean drowning in someone else's complaints. Protect your light. It's yours to keep. Number 2. The promise breaker. There's something exhausting about people who say one thing and do another, isn't there? They make plans, swear they'll show up, offer help. But when the moment comes, they're nowhere to be found. Picture George, 80, who'd known his buddy Tom since their army days. Tom was always full of big ideas. "Let's grab lunch. I'll fix that fence for you. I'll call you tomorrow." But half the time, he'd cancel last minute or just forget. George kept forgiving him, thinking, "That's just Tom." But over time, he felt foolish, like his trust didn't matter. Promise breakers don't mean to hurt you, sometimes, but their broken words chip away at your faith in them. They take your kindness for granted, assuming you'll always be there, waiting. But here's the thing. At this stage of life, you deserve reliability. You've earned people who value your plans, your hopes, your time as much as you value theirs. Being kind doesn't mean letting someone treat your trust like it's optional. If they can't follow through, you don't have to keep making space for their excuses. Step back, focus on those who show up, and let your kindness flow to people who keep their word. Number 3. The one-way friend. Friendship is supposed to be a two-way street, right? But some people treat it like a one-way road, where you're always the one giving. Think of Evelyn, 77, who loved her weekly coffee dates with her neighbor, Linda. Evelyn would bring cookies, ask about Linda's grandkids, listen to her stories. But when it was Evelyn's turn to share, about her garden, her new hobby, or even a worry, Linda would nod quickly, then steer the talk back to herself. Evelyn started feeling invisible, like she was just a sounding board, not a friend. The one-way friend thrives on your attention, your warmth, your effort, but they rarely give it back. They're happy to take your kindness, but when you need a listener, a favor, or a moment of care, they're suddenly busy or distracted. As you get older, you realize time is too short for relationships that feel like charity. You don't have to cut them off completely, but you can pull back, save your energy for people who see you, hear you, value you. Kindness isn't a one-sided gift, it's a shared one, and you deserve friends who meet you halfway. Number 4. The chaos creator. Some people seem to carry drama wherever they go, don't they? They're not always loud or obvious, but their lives are a constant whirlwind, arguments, crises, last-minute emergencies, and somehow you get pulled in. Imagine Robert, 81, whose cousin Marie was always in a mess. One week, it was a fight with her landlord. The next, a car breakdown or a family feud. Marie would call Robert in a panic, and he'd drop everything to help, lend money, offer advice, even drive her around. But after years of this, Robert noticed he was exhausted, His own plans were always on hold, and Marie's problems never seemed to end. Chaos creators don't just have bad luck, they lean into it, and they lean on you to fix it. Your kindness becomes their lifeline, but it costs you your calm, your focus, your peace. In your later years, you've got no time for someone else's endless emergencies. You can wish them well, but you don't have to be their hero. Set a limit, offer a kind word, maybe, but keep your distance from the storm. Your life is for living, not for putting out fires that aren't yours. Number 5. The scorekeeper. Ever met someone who tracks every favor like it's a debt? They help you once, then remind you of it forever, expecting you to repay them tenfold. Take Susan, 78, who had a friend, Carol, who loved to play this game. If Carol drove Susan to the doctor, she'd bring it up for months. Remember when I helped you out? And if Susan couldn't return the favor right away, Carol would sulk or drop hints about being underappreciated. Susan felt trapped, like her kindness was never enough. Scorekeepers don't see relationships as mutual. They see them as transactions, and your kindness is just another point on their tally. They hold your generosity hostage, making you feel like you owe them something bigger, better, always. But here's the truth. Real kindness doesn't come with a ledger. At this age, you've given enough to the world, you don't need to live under someone's invisible IOU. If they can't give without strings, you don't have to keep accepting their help or their guilt. Surround yourself with people who share freely, who don't keep count, because your heart isn't a balance sheet, and your kindness deserves better. Closing thoughts. So, take a breath and ask yourself, are any of these people in your life right now? Are you giving your time, your care, your quiet moments to folks who only take, who leave you tired, who don't see your worth? The older you get, the clearer it becomes that peace is your greatest treasure. You've spent decades lifting others, forgiving, bending to keep the harmony, but now's the time to choose you. You're allowed to say no to the complainers, to step away from the unreliable, to let go of friendships that feel like work. Kindness is still yours to give, but it should go to those who fill you up, who respect your boundaries, who make your days brighter, not heavier. These years are for healing old wounds, chasing small joys, and building a circle that feels like home. If this resonates with you, hold it close. Maybe jot down one step you'll take to protect your peace today. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below with what struck you most or who you're rethinking in your life. Your voice matters, and it keeps us going. If you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. It helps us keep bringing you ideas to live better, wiser, freer. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time.